another video. Today we will be discussing the treatment of the UAE VAT law in regards to the bad debt relief. So let's get started.
I recently had a customer who notified that he's in a position where he's not able to pay the amount. He owes to us back. My company registered for bad debt for the customer. What does it mean to be under bad debts?
VAT registered supplier is required to account for output tax in the same tax period in which the tax invoice is issued, when and only if there are no other events triggering the date of the supply. If the VAT registered supplier supplies goods and services to customers, but they do not pay either party or wholly, and a bad debt situation occurs, in simple terms, bad debts are claims that were included in accounts receivables but have not been resolved or settled. Then the supplier can adjust the VAT on the bad debts according to the Article 64 of Federal Decree Law number 8 of 2017. If the bad debt reduction's value is greater compared to the taxable supplies of a taxable entity, then the amount of bad debt will be carried forward and then applied to the subsequent tax periods.
How can I benefit from the bad debts relief scheme?
It is possible to benefit from the bad debt relief schemes under some certain conditions. The first condition is that the goods and services should have been supplied and VAT on the supply should have been charged and accounted for. The second condition is that the consideration for the supply should have been written off in full or in part as a bad debt in the accounts of the supplier. For example, where a supplier issues an invoice for AED 105, where AED 100 represents the value of supply and AED 5 represents the VAT amount. If the supplier is not able to collect the entire debt and writes off AED 105, a bad debt adjustment of AED 5 can be taken. On the other hand, if the supplier collects 50% of the consideration and consequently writes off AED 52.5, a bad debt adjustment of only AED 2.5 can be taken. The third condition is that more than 6 months should have passed from the date of the supply. The fourth condition, the supplier should have notified the customer of the amount of consideration for the supply that has been written off.
How should I engage with the customer for writing off?
The notification to the customer for the write-off must include: number 1, the invoice number; number 2, the date of invoice which has not been paid; and number 3, the amount of consideration which has been written off. The FTA considers the requirement of notifying a customer, and it will only be satisfied when a supplier sends a letter, email, post, or any other similar communication to the customer stating the amount of consideration that has been written off. Although it is not necessary to have acknowledgement from the customer, evidence of providing notification must be retained.
Where can I make the adjustment for the bad relief?
Bad debt relief can only be taken to the extent of consideration written off in the accounts, and it is important that during the period of 6 months, the supplier should engage with customer to recover the debt. Adjustments on accounts for bad debts are to be made in the VAT return adjustment column. Adjustment amount has to be specified and accurate for reporting to the relevant government authorities. The scheme, Bad Debt Relief, seeks in providing relief to suppliers or creditors in cases wherein VAT was charged but has been left unpaid by the customers.
I wasn't aware of a relief scheme under the UAE VAT law, but I don't have anything to worry now. Thanks for the great tip.
For more such videos, please do subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click the like button and mention your queries down. Until then, bye-bye.